Okay, so I do want to go over just how to use the clay and some of the tools you'll need. So I gave everybody some toothpicks. So I gave everybody a little bit of wire. So that's if you want to make it into a necklace or bracelet. I'm going to be using a butter knife, or this is my clay knife, but I'll use a butter knife because I'm sure everybody has that at home. I have a pencil, I have a ruler, and I have a little round dowel. If you don't have a round dowel, you could use something like a pencil, to roll out the clay as well. So there's 3 basic hand building techniques. So I'm going to pull out some of my clay that I have, and I'll show you the basic hand techniques that you can use. So the first is coil. So if you take a little bit of your clay, and we've all made snakes with Play-Doh, I hope. If you roll your clay out, you can roll it, I like to roll it on the table, and I try to make even rolls. So you can create coils of different sizes. So we have like different thicknesses. So depending on, if it feels a little lumpy, that's okay. You can just work on it. Takes a little bit of practice. So, but you can make thin coils. You can make thick coils. Whatever works for you. Whatever it is you're making. So here I have this clay. So maybe you want your coil. You can make the coil, and it can turn into an arm. Because I think what I'm going to make, I wanted to make a pig, a good luck pig. So one of the first things I'm going to do is, if I take a little bit of green, I can take a tiny bit of white, and if I mush it in and I mix it up, I can make a lighter green. So that way I can extend it. So like if you want to make a shamrock, you can make varying colors of the green. So I made a little leprechaun hat. So I did not shade that. I did not add any white to that. So what I did do for the belt around the top is I rolled out a coil like this, and then I flattened it. Okay, I'm using the white clay, but I did do one in the black clay. So I flattened it, and then I used my butter knife just to try to make sure that I can get it straight. Then I used my clay here, the green, and I molded it and shaped it into different things here. And I can tap it down. I can roll it, and using coil to create the hat. I can pinch the edges just so that way I get a sharp edge on the brim of the top of the hat. And then I can even take some clay. If I take a little bit of this and I flatten it out. So if I flatten it, flip it, flatten, flip it. So now I'm making a slab. So the other way of doing that would be with your rolling pin. And with the rolling pin, then I can take this edge and I can tap it. I can edge it. I can take my butter knife and I can trim it to get exactly what I want. So if I want it to be a circle, maybe I can even take the cap of a soda bottle and I can trace that, and I can use that as the brim. And when I place it on, so there's my little hat. Now I'm going to take the black that I have and I'm going to wrap that around. Now there's extra, and that's okay. So I can either completely wrap it or I can cut it. So I think I'm going to cut off that extra. Oh, I don't know if I got enough. Yep, there we go. So there, so I have my little hat. And now I made a little bit, I took a little yellow and I made a little square. But the yellow, I'm not too happy with it. I had a little bit of black on my finger. So if you make sure that your hands are clean, and then if you use yellow, if there's other color on your hand, it's going to get mixed up in there. So if I use just the yellow without mixing up and touching the black a lot, I can create my the buckle part of the belt. I can put that on. There we go. I like this one better. I think this one needs to be a little bit bigger. So that's coil. I showed you slab, and now I can do pinch. Pinch is just by pinching your hands together, you can pinch out the shape. So like if I wanted to make a shamrock, 4-leaf clover, I can just pinch it into almost like a cheese wedge shape, like that, and press it. Then I'm going to take my toothpick, and if I go like that, just by pressing it, I can create kind of the leaf shape. If I make 4 of these, and then if I place them together and I squish them together, well, then I can have a shamrock, just like that. On the back side, I took a little extra clay and I blended it together, so that way, you know, it stays in. So if I were to create like my little pig, so if I had my arm here, and I'm using white, like if you wanted, you could take a little bit of the red and mix it in with the white. I'm just not going to do that because it's going to take too long for me to mush it and mix it and, you know, get everything the even consistency. But what I am doing is mixing up my Sculpey clay so that way it is a little bit softer, and I can use this as an example to create my pig head. So the pig has a little snout. So, no, tap his little snout there. I can either go in with the toothpick and make eyes that way, or if I wanted, I could use a little bit of black and put a little dot on there. Then I can take a little bit of clay. Again, I can pinch it into the shape of his little ear. Oh, this can also be, if I work on it, I can make it into one of the cats. So, and then I could do the other ear. And if you take your time, make sure that it's exactly what you want it to be. I'm doing this all in 15 minutes or so, but you're welcome to take your time with it. If you mess up, it's okay. You can do it again. Just start over. So I think for this one, I think I'm going to just do his nose like this. That was a little bit too big. Oh, so I messed up. And that's okay. I can just work on it, fix it up. I think, there we go. So there we got our little pig head. And if I wanted to attach it to a body, so like if I used this piece of clay as the body, I can take part of my toothpick and stick it in, and then I can stick the head on. Lower that a little bit more. Lower it just a little bit on, and press it so that way it kind of, the clay here does touch the clay there. And then I can add this is a big arm. Let's make that arm a little smaller. So if I have my little pig arm, I can do a little pig foot. His body's a little big. So I did make another one out of the pink, but I didn't attach his head. You see how easily it comes off. So it would make a lot of sense for me to stick this into here and put that on there. Now I did do this part. I took my pencil and I took my wire and I wrapped it around. So that way I can place it inside of the pig head, like here in the back. Oh, there's a little bit extra. I should cut that off. So if I stick this into the back of his head, and then I'm going to use my toothpick to just blend that in, I can then turn this into a necklace. So when you see the back of his head, I completely covered it up, and I took my time and I blended it. So that was just the good luck pig, and he's going to be holding his little shamrock. But I made the little cat, so he's calling in the good luck. So again, I took a long time to make the whiskers, his collar, everything. I rolled out a coil, pinch, slab. So I have my moon. So again, you could I used a cap to make my circle, and I traced it and cut it out. So I have here's my evil eye, another pig that I never finished that one. Here's my acorn, some other shamrocks, a good luck horseshoe. And if you want, you can make multiples for a necklace or a keychain. Here's the red balloon from Lucky Charms, little heart. So there's a lot of possibility of the different things that you can create. So have fun. So you can use coil, you can pinch the shape, and you can use slab. So with that, there's a lot of possibility.